Ready?
Yep.
All right, we are going to call the October 1st, 2025 BZA meeting to order. Ms. Blankenhorn, please call the roll.
Ms. Cunningham, Mr. Percy,
Here.
Mr. O'Quinn,
Here.
Mrs. Ramsire, Mr. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Adams,
Here.
Mrs. Gant.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
All right, with that, the October 1st, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting is called to order. The first item of business is approval of the May 7th, 2025 BZA meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
I motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. With that, the May 7th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals minutes are approved as presented. All right, the case before us, 2025 BZA-03, 1 Riley Street, variances to construct a laundromat. Is there a proponent of the proposed variance request before us? Come on up and be sworn in, and there's a card there. Please raise your right hand and be sworn and read the oath on the card there.
If it was here.
Long.
I don't have it memorized, help me. Hi, Herb Yoder. My address is 27551 Newcastle Road, Gambier, Ohio. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under penalty of perjury.
All right, Mr. Yoder, what are we trying to achieve here?
Well, we would like to build a laundromat where the old Bell Heating and Cooling was on 1 Riley Street or 310 Newark Road, whichever.
So if I read this correctly, so you're going to tear down the existing structure and build a whole new structure?
The existing structure is already down, yep.
It is already down, okay. And the existing structure was 16 feet back from the property line, and what you're doing is requesting to move the footprint closer to the road at 10 feet, is that?
That's correct.
And then you're moving it over towards the side property line so you can get parking in there.
And the property lines were, the neighboring house encroaches 5 feet into our property. So it seems like there was a lot of problems with the property lines before we purchased it, so.
All right, so we're, and the reason that you had to move it forward, if I'm not mistaken, was the parking plan, to be able to get the required number of parking spaces necessary per the code. Is that, Ms. Blankenhorn, is it right at the correct number or on parking spaces?
So the code has changed where we do not dictate to them how many spaces they
Okay.
are required to have. They have to provide us a proposal, which gets reviewed by our zoning enforcement officer, and he is prepared to approve it.
Okay, okay. All right, is there anything else you'd like to add regarding?
I don't believe so. Yep.
Okay. Does anyone have questions? Mr. Yoder?
I have a question on that. I don't know if it's,
Yes,
but the, looks like a driveway. Is that going to 308? Or is that,
I think that's for the existing premises. Is that, there's a driveway behind the old building that was between the building and the house?
There was, yes.
But was that drive is just servicing the resident, that property?
Correct.
Okay, and it's not going to the neighboring property?
Well, yeah, this is all one plot.
Well, now, the way the aerial map looks,
Right.
it's going to 308?
Right, no, it's not, yeah.
Okay, all right. Any other questions? Are there any, all right, thank you, Mr. Yoder.
Sure.
Are there any other proponents of the proposed variance request before us? Are there any opponents of the proposed variance request before us? If you want, you're welcome to come up and speak. I need you to come up and be sworn in if you wish to speak. All right. Because I have to, it's all recorded, so I need it on microphone.
you need glasses?
I did.
You feel free.
Sure.
Yes, you go right ahead. There you go.
Okay, just leave that. Okay, thank you.
Need
My
to
name-
Read the card, yes, please.
Okay. My name is Dixie Davis. My address is 400 Newark Road. I am directly across from the said proposed property. Have lived there for 17 years. Good friends with the neighbor that owned the Bell property. And all of my other neighbors in the area. Haven't had any complaints anyhow.
Hold on, yes, finish swearing in and then.
Okay, I'm sorry. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, and under penalty of perjury.
All right, go ahead.
Amen. Okay. Lacey, do you want me to read this?
So she submitted a letter earlier this week, and I
Okay.
talked to her before the meeting and told her that I could read it. We just typically do that after we collect all the testimony from the audience.
Okay.
So
So-
that's completely up to you.
Is it looking like I'm the only one that's opposing this?
It doesn't, what matters is your concerns and your opinion.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's 100
All right.
people or none.
I will
Your-
try to-
It's your concerns are your concerns,
Okay.
and that's what's important.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, I will try to help you.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done this before, so forgive me. This is to the Planning Department for Mount Vernon, Ohio. I reside at 400 Newark Road, directly across from building site of said property, 1 Riley Street, writing this to express my concerns about proposed laundromat. One of my concerns are the traffic safety area is going to be in a high traffic area. No sidewalks for public and on lots of traffic on Riley Street, I'm sorry. There's bus trafficking. There's children going back and forth using the crosswalk that is right across from my house. There are lots of older seniors in my area, and they walk to and from their homes and everything. There are a lot of kids walking back and forth from the school too. Wanted to see what the hours of operations was, hoping it's not a 24-hour business, mainly because of vehicle doors opening and shutting and trunks opening and shutting and keeping you awake all night. I live in an older home, so insulation isn't that good. Wanted to see really if you have a proposed picture of what is going to be there and the building, the parking lot situation. Is people going to be backing out onto Newark Road, backing out onto Riley Street to get away from the laundromat? And if they are, I can foresee problems. Okay. I've lived in that area for 17 years. I believe having a commercial laundromat will generate lots of extra traffic and create safety hazards for all. Need spillover parking places, traffic calming measures on highway and residential street. I appreciate the board's commitment to responsible development and ask that these safety concerns be addressed before permit is granted. Also, I feel that this will decrease the value of our homes in that area. I look forward to having the board's response for the safety of Mount Vernon and its residents. And is this going to be crime to the residents' home?
Well, thank you for your testimony. Hopefully when we get to, we'll read the staff report in a few minutes, but I can address a couple of those. One is that the redevelopment will require new compliant sidewalks to be installed along Newark Road and Riley Street. So there will be sidewalks on both sides. So that should hopefully address one of those concerns that you had. There is in the submission, there is a diagram of the building or rendering of the building, so you can see that. That's what the intended structure will look like. There is also a parking plan that will be approved, or that will need to be approved by the zoning administrator or zoning enforcement officer before anything is complete. So there is a proposed parking plan. What we look at is we're looking at the variances that need to be requested, which is going to be about where it's located. Unfortunately, with general business, that is not, we can't control the type of business that goes in, but we can look at where the building is situated and situated in a way that's best for the neighborhood. And that's really what we're looking at. Those other things, luckily, the code enforcement team has already looked at some of those things and helped create a parking plan and various things like the sidewalk requirements and so on.
Okay.
So I'm hoping those help a little bit in your concerns about.
I'm just afraid of accidents. And I know from my driveway even, my kids back out of my driveway, and I'm hold my breath every time they do, really, because people just veer off of Newark Road right onto Riley going 30 miles an hour. So we've had some close calls.
So part of it is the, is they are not allowed to park on the front so that they're not backing out into the state route. But
Well, that's good. That's
They've
good.
developed it so that it hopefully is conducive
So
to
they'll
the
all be
traffic.
backing out on Riley Street.
Yep, yep,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
All
Thank
right.
you for your input, we really value it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, I'm lost without them too.
I had them in the car, but the
Are there any other opponents of the proposed variance request before us?
I don't know that we're opponents, but we just had a couple questions.
Come on up and be sworn in, I have to have you on tape. So,
I'm Elizabeth Bonatti. My address is that we own is 308 Newark Road. I affirm that my testimony is truthful to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God, or under the penalty of perjury. And I guess just a couple of questions is, the variance is just from the setback from the road or from the building to building lot line?
building to building, so we don't look at building, we look at lot line. It looks like the 308 is actually 5 feet over the lot line, so we look at the lot line as much as anything. So there would be a lot line variance request. So the request before us is for a variance from the front, so from the front lot line, and then also a variance on each side. And so that's, unfortunately, on these older lots, it's harder to get it perfect, but that's why we're here.
Well, and yes, we did have issues with it, and we tried to bring it here, but we couldn't at that time. So, because of non-conforming lots.
Yeah, non-conforming lots, the city undertook a code rewrite knowing that we have these non-conforming lots. And so we really created a code that looked at that more easily to take some of the work off of us, because we were meeting quite regularly. And not in all instances can the code apply, so that's why we're here. And hopefully we can make an informed decision, and we like to have all the neighbors' input so that we can come to a resolution for everyone.
So, for, like you said, lot line to the building, what is it right now? And
So the code requirement, it is typically side yard is 15. When you're going residential to commercial to residential, it's technically adds another 5, so it's supposed to be 20. Is that, hopefully I said that correctly? Yeah, so it should be 20. Well, you're 5 over, so their proposed is situating it at 15, so we would need to give them a variance of 5. They would be required to screen between a residential property. There's a requirement for screening, either fencing or landscape or something. And so the goal would be, hopefully maybe you could work with them in a way that makes everybody happy, but that there would be a requirement for screening in there. We are not being asked to eliminate that. We're just being asked where the building can situate.
Okay. And I don't know that you can answer this, but where will the venting be for like the dryers and stuff?
You gotta.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta talk to
You
them.
can ask me and I can ask them, but
Perfect.
the
Where will the
questions-
venting be for the dryers?
I can ask that. I
Okay.
propose, when we get done with you, I'll
Okay.
ask them where the proposed venting is so that it's not
Okay.
coming up against your property. I'm assuming is your concern. Yeah, all right.
All right,
Okay.
thanks.
All right, thank you, Ms. Benatti. Mr. Yoder, could you come up and respond to a question regarding where the venting may be located?
Yeah, we're not exactly sure where that will be at this time, but we will definitely take in consideration that that house is very close and make sure it vents out the back versus towards their house, so.
Thank you for your consideration.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Any other opponents of the proposed variance request before us? All right, did you?
I have a point of clarification. I thought she was asking how far is the current business that was knocked down from her house?
I don't think we
this-
have that exact
Okay.
measurement. It was farther, but it was,
That was my question, is what is the current?
Oh, okay. I just wondered how far the distance was before the bell was knocked
it
down.
was, but the other building was up against the property line on the other side, so there was no room for parking or anything like
Right,
that. So
okay.
it was
well
further
beyond
away.
20 feet
Yeah.
from the
Okay.
lot line.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Ms. Blankenhorn, hopefully I'm getting this right because it's been so long since I've done this. Is there any written or verbal communication regarding the proposed variance request?
I did receive a letter from Mrs. Davis, which she read. So do you want me to reread it, or are you good with? Okay, and then I have the staff report.
If you wouldn't mind reading the staff report into the record?
October 1st, 2025, case 2025 BZA 03, 1 Riley Street, formerly known as 310 Newark Road, for parcels 66-03820.000 and 66-09781.000. Samaritan Properties LLC, Jason and Christy Kirk, proposed to redevelop the subject properties by raising the existing non-conforming single-story commercial building, formerly Bell Cooling Heating Refrigeration, and constructing a single-story 30 feet by 50 feet commercial structure. The subject property is zoned GB General Business, which calls for a 30 feet front yard, 20 feet interior side yard, which is a 15 foot plus 5 feet when adjacent to residential zoning, a 20 feet exterior side yard, and 20 feet rear yard. Again, the 15 feet plus 5 when it's adjacent to residential zoning. The single-family home to the north at 308 Newark Road is 5 feet over the shared property line. There is a single-family dwelling on the subject property addressed as 3 Riley Street, which will remain. Samaritan Properties also owns the vacated alley to the east, a 15 feet by 129 feet parcel. Variance 1, the redevelopment proposes to locate the front of the new structure 10 feet from the front property line. There is an approximately 16 feet wide shoulder between the northbound lane of Newark Road and the property line. Variance 2, the redevelopment proposed to locate compliant size, which is 10 feet by 19 feet parking, with a 0 feet setback between Riley Street and the new structure, where code calls for a front line setback of 10 feet and a side lot line setback of 10 feet. The city inspector, Scott Zimmerman, who also serves as the zoning enforcement officer, has reviewed the proposed parking plan and is prepared to approve it should the request for variances be approved, allowing the redevelopment to proceed. The redevelopment will require new compliant sidewalks to be installed along the Newark Road and Riley Street frontages. Sidewalks should be located in the public right-of-way. Another variance, the proposed redevelopment will locate the new structure 15 feet from the north interior property line, 10 feet from the non-conforming residential structure on the adjacent property. And one other variance, city code requires screening between different land uses. In this case, GB next to R1A requires 15 feet wide screening with a fence, wall, or mound, and 8 trees, 8 shrubs, 4 trees, and 3 ornamental trees for each 50 feet of adjacency. The next page shows an aerial view of the subject properties and adjacent roadways, as well as a picture of the existing commercial structure dated 1900 from the Knox County Auditor's website.
I don't think that's 1900.
They must not have had a date.
So the question I have is there a request to eliminate the screening, or is this just, you just have variance, and I'm not sure what?
It's not to eliminate it, but the 15 feet width with
Oh.
a fence and then your bushes,
There's
They
not
don't
15
have
feet
to-
there.
Only 10 feet between.
yes.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Okay.
There is one other issue here.
Uh-huh.
What is the front yard and what is the side yard? Because originally the property was set as 310 Newark Road, meaning it fronted onto Newark Road. The property owner has changed that designation to make it 1 Riley Street. So
Okay.
does that make Riley Street the front?
Ms. Blankenhorn?
It was changed prior to the Kirks purchasing it.
So, I mean, are they going back to the 310 Newark Road, or are they going to leave it Riley Street?
Because that changes the way we do the variance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue here.
Where's, Mr. Yoder, could you come up so we can,
So I'm trying to line this bad
We
news up.
found out about that once we purchased the property. We don't care how it's set up, as what is the front or the side. I mean, 310 Newark Road is fine with us because that's how I was told previous owner tried to change that in order to be able to move the property lines and do things. And I was informed it wasn't necessarily actually changed. It was an attempt to do so, but
where's the front entrance of the,
there is a front entrance on Newark Road, and there is an entrance off of Riley Street as well, so.
that doesn't make it easier.
It doesn't, and there's a little covering roof off Newark Road, and there's a little, like, dormer on Riley Street as well, so.
Because that just changes the wording and the,
Correct, yeah.
Ms. Blankenhorn, any guidance? Because that just changes the way the
Yeah.
setbacks.
I mean, because it appears as though the setbacks are in the staff report, and as the variances are laid out, appear to make it so that it would be 310 Newark Road. So if we go with that, and then we just require the owners to change the designation back and go from that.
Yeah, because if you look at it from Riley Street as the frontage, your technical setbacks aren't going to change a whole lot. You have more of a frontage than the 10 feet,
Yeah.
the way they're calling now.
It's
off
better if
Newark.
it's Riley Street. The variances are less if it's Riley Street than
Right.
if it's Newark Road, would be what I would say. Sure.
I just want to make sure that we
Word it correctly. in
that we
our-
word it correctly,
Uh-huh.
so that if there's anything, if anyone comes to look at it later, that they understand
Accurate.
exactly.
All right, how do we,
Well, I mean, it really depends on what the owner
Mhm.
wants to do. I mean, does the owner want to keep it as 1 Riley Street, and if so, we'll proceed on that basis.
310 Newark Road is absolutely fine, yeah.
310 Newark Road?
I think it's more, for the public, if it would
Yes.
proceed as a business, it's more identifiable as a Newark Road address.
I agree, yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, we have all the written communication covered, we have all the verbal communication covered. I would entertain a motion regarding the proposed variance request before us. And I'll just clarify, we do the motion second, and then we as a board can discuss before voting. But we gotta put the motion out there so that it's been a while since we met, so I gotta just
Yeah.
remind everybody. We motion second, and then we can discuss from there before our vote. So I would entertain a motion regarding the proposed variance request before us.
I will motion to discuss the proposed variance.
Your
request.
motion to approve as presented.
Yes.
All right, is
There
there
we
a
go.
second to
I
that?
knew there was. I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Discussion amongst the board. or additional questions if you need of anyone. So again, the proposed is that we're, instead of a 30-foot setback on the front, we're doing a 10-foot setback.
And we are calling Riley Street the front?
No,
No.
Newark Road. the
Newark
front.
Road the front now, okay.
Newark Road the
Sorry.
front. Uh-huh. And then we're doing a side yard variance. Instead of 20, we're doing
15, right?
15.
Okay.
Ms. Blankenhorn, is that, we're doing it off the property line, not off the other structure,
Correct.
So it'd be 15 instead of 25, or 20. And then do we, because the parking is technically a structure, we have to do a variance for the parking, not
For the parking setback.
parking setback, correct? Okay, and then also for the screening to not be
15 feet
just
wide.
50 feet wide, 15 foot wide,
There
yeah.
must be screening, it just does not have to be
No,
15.
there must be screening, but it's not gonna be 15 feet wide, yeah.
Also that they will change the designation back to 310 Newark Road.
Okay. All right, discussion about that, or is there, we ready for a vote?
The only thing I don't understand is the parking one. Can we
Because-
discuss that?
Yes, the
Okay.
parking's supposed, there's still supposed to be a setback for parking. Parking's not supposed to be right on the street.
Okay,
Or
It's
right
not
at-
and there's
supposed to
just
be-
no other room for it. so it
It's not
has to be-
supposed to be up to the property line. There's supposed to be a
Okay,
gap.
now I do.
Lack of a
All right,
better
thank you. Mhm.
Okay, all right, all right. Ms. Blankenhorn, call the roll.
Mr. Percy,
Yes.
Mr. O'Quinn,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Adams,
Yes.
Mrs. Gant.
Yes.
All right, with that, BZA, 2025 BZA-03 is approved as submitted with the one change about the Newark Road versus Riley Street. Is there any additional business before us?
I have nothing further.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Oh,
All,
to second that.
we are adjourned at the pleasure of the chair, thank you. All right,
all right, thank you.
thank you all for your time and input, we value community input, it's important. And thank you for coming out, we appreciate that.
Quite proud today.